Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artorai.com. Yesterday I decided I wanted to make some swatches of all of my distress oxides, all of my inks in fact. Because when I was working with the colour cubes in one of my earlier videos just the other day, I realised that I could do with something a bit more organised than just rooting through my inks to see what I had. So I thought I would make some swatches and just show you how I managed to do it. You don't need any fancy tools or anything to make swatches. All you really need is just cut up pieces of card. That's all. I'm going to use my tag punch, the 2-inch one, just to make some tags. 2 inches by 3 inches, but you can use dies of any shape, any size. It's entirely up to you. You can make swatch books, which give you a better indication of the colours that you have at a glance, but it does take up more space. So if you have a hole punch, you can just take any pieces of card that you've cut up, just put a hole punch in them and just string them together with ribbon, or you could use a metal bookbinding ring, anything you like really. You don't need anything fancy at all. When I started doing my video for the colour cube, I'll link to it down below, but I was complaining about how few ink pads I have. When I've come to do this and search through my distress oxides, it's actually surprised me how many I do have. I have done quite a lot of swatches and I'm not even halfway through yet. So that's what I get for moaning. So all I've done is taken some bits of card. This is 300 GSM because goodness knows how much use these are going to get. But I've cut them to 2 by 3 inches, and now I'm going to put them in my tag punch and just chop off the top to give it a nice hole already made and a nice shape. It's just purely for decorative purposes, that's all. Doesn't take long. Now I already have my stamp set up. I'm just using a little butterfly stamp, but it is a solid stamp because you can get a better idea of the colour. And I already have it set up from the swatches that I made before. You don't have to use a stamp if you don't have one. You can just use your blending brushes just to place colour down onto the card. It's entirely up to you. Using the sticky grid liner on my stamping platform enables me to keep on lining up the card in the same place each time, so I get the butterfly stamped in the same place each time. Once you have one done, all the rest just sort of follow, so it's much easier to do it this way. So I'm just going to lay down the colour. Sometimes it takes more than one coat, especially with the distress oxides, but just keep stamping until you get a nice solid block of colour. Now all that remains is to take off the card from the stamping platform, write on the name of the colour and just set it aside to dry completely before you add it to the rest of the pack. I always clean my stamps with alcohol first to give it a chance to dry before I set up my next swatch. And there you go. That was really easy, wasn't it? Now you can just set it aside and just keep on going. Cut and colour as many pieces of card as you need and just keep going until you've gone through your entire ink stash. I'm just using a scrap piece of ribbon to tie these all together, but you can change that at any time. Just use what you have for now. Just keep them together tidily so you can just grab them and look through them whenever that you need to. As I said, I've only done a few so far, but already I can imagine it taking the stress out of finding the colours that I want, seeing what they're going to look like when they're applied to the card. I think it would be nice to do swatches with different blends of different colours as well, or you could even have colours grouped together. So group all of your blues, all of your yellows, all of your greens, just to see what they look like. If all you have is scrap, if you don't have any stamps or anything you'd like to use, just lay down some colour onto a piece of card, punch a hole in it and use that instead. Like I said, you don't have to use anything fancy. There are many different ways to make swatches, but just go with what's easiest for you. It does not get any easier than that, really, does it? Just laying down colour onto a piece of card, punching a hole in it, stringing them all together, even if you only have wool to string them together. So the next time you go looking for colours, then you've got them all there, ready just to look through. You don't have to search through drawers looking at all your inks or wherever you have them stashed. You can just literally pick up your swatches and just have a look through them just to see the colours that you want to use and exactly how they're going to look like. You could, of course, with your Distress Oxides, make some black card swatches so you could see what they're going to look like on dark coloured card. I did try that and it didn't work out really well, but at least you get an idea of what it's going to be like, because your Distress inks will show up on black card much easier than your dye inks will. In fact, your dye inks don't really show up at all. But anyway, I really hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any more hints and tips about how to swatch your inks or to organise your inks, please let me know. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye now.